Hello Pisces, this is the love reads for Pisces. For the tarot part, I'm using the Morgan Greer Tarot, like I seem to be stuck on at the moment, by Paul Foster Case and Arthur Edward Waite. I don't know if you can see that. And for the support cards, the Romance Angel cards by Doreen Virtue. I use the Oracle cards as necessary. I don't force them out. I wait for them to when there's a clarifier needed. Then I pull them out. The first half of these reads are for relationships. The second half is for single. Let's go ahead and get right into it, Pisces. Move that out of the way. This is them. Now, let's see. For you, Pisces, relationship Pisces, I'm feeling like this might be a little bit warranted. Because I feel like it's not a bad situation, but I don't feel like you're really getting what you want. I don't know. I think you might have a little more going on than you want. Maybe something along that. Okay. So, what this is standing at right now is you got them with the Ten of Cups. You got you with the Three of Pentacles. Yep. And makes me feel like they're very happy with you, where the situation is with the relationship. Makes me feel like you're kind of working to keep things going. I feel like you might be... I feel like you're just kind of keeping things going. You may be doing the majority of the work. Okay. But I don't. Whatever it is at this point, I don't feel like it's a big deal. I feel like I don't feel like you're doing the. I don't know if it's like the majority of the work, or you feel like you're keeping up with them, but you feel like you're doing a bit. They might seem like they have boundless energy, and you're just kind of like keeping up type sense. But with the Passion card between the two of you, I feel like you're both happy. So this is good. This is where you're currently standing. This is good. Now, what's holding a situation back is I think that maybe you're just going along on faith, and they're kind of like just trying to keep things going. I feel like there's not a lot of direction, just a lot of movement. You may be just going along with whatever they want to do, not really... I don't feel like you're making many decisions, you're just kind of going along with what they want to do. And this might be causing... I feel like this might be setting you up for some problems. And they're just kind of like... I feel like they might be looking at the situation here like they're making decisions, like they're trying to make decisions for you. I feel like is how they might be looking at it. It almost gives me the thought, like, if you're going out to dinner, for example, they're like, where you want to go? They're like, and you're like, I don't know, where you want to go? And then they have to choose. And I feel like they want you to make more choices. Okay. This seems to be like this is going to cause a problem. Because the reason I'm saying that is because I feel like they go ahead and they take... This is in the spiritual sense. I feel like they take the lead. They got the King of Rods. Like, they definitely move a situation forward, and I feel like it might be a big decision. And I feel like you're just having faith that they'll make the decision you want, but it's not the decision you want. The Three of Swords in the spiritual position makes me feel like it didn't really work out the way you wanted it to. I feel like there's a big decision though, like a new house, a move, a change of job that they're having. and it's putting some stress on you. And I feel like they asked you and they talked with you, and you left them the power to make the decision, and then they did. But the final decision they made, I feel as it wasn't really what you wanted. I feel like you're just kind of going along with what they want in a sense. I don't know. Like, I'm trying to be like, sure, is like, this is really what we want to say with this? And they're like, yeah. It's like, this is a spiritual sense though. Like, it's not working out and you thought it would work out a little better for what you wanted. Although I feel like they thought they were making a decision you would want. Now, I feel like this decision is made, and I think after the decision is made, you might say something. But it's also the Page of Swords, so I don't feel like you're really forceful. They have the Knight of Rods on their side. This is what's moving the situation forward to the next step. The Knight of Rods kind of trumps the Page of Swords. He's moving forward. The Page of Rods is saying what he feels or thinks, but ultimately the Knight of Rods is taking control here. He also has the other person also has the King of Rods on their side, which means they're definitely going in the direction they want. I feel like by the time you say something, the decision has already been made. And I feel like you were just kind of going through feeling like, I don't know, that they would understand what you wanted more, but it didn't really hit that way is what I'm feeling. Okay. Now, I want to say as we go forward, they really feel like this is the best for you guys. Whatever they're deciding, they feel like it's the best choice. They really do. And I just feel like it really just wasn't what you wanted, but I don't know, you didn't communicate back earlier, and I feel like this is kind of coming back to bite you. I hate to say that, but I kind of feel like that's what's happening. Now, above them, I have the Love Yourself First card with these two cards. The Knight of Rods with the Empress. I feel like they're aware, like when you start communicating, like they hear you, but I almost feel like they're just kind of moving forward on autopilot in a sense. I don't know if they're acknowledging it flat out, that they know what you're thinking, or they're understanding what you're saying, because I feel like at this point, by the time that comes forward, the decision has already started moving forward. It's already happened. In their mind, at least, it's like, we're not turning around now, we're going to continue. And I feel like they hear you, but they're not really responding to it. I almost feel like they're just kind of like moving on. They're just like, they hear you, but they're just kind of like, well, it's too late to change our mind now. And they're just kind of like, I don't feel like they're addressing it. And when I see the Love Yourself First, for this reading, I really feel like, because I'm noticing, like, if you look at the guy, and then there's this little cherub behind him, and it almost looks like he's pushing his hand back, like, not now. Like, not now. It kind of feels like that's what that is. But, I mean, that's not exactly what he's doing, but that's kind of how I'm interpreting it. Like, he's not trying to push you, or he, she, don't get caught up in the gender, because it's a general read. But this person, whoever your partner is kind of like pushing you off. It feels like they're pushing you off and just going on and keeping things going. But they do hear you. But I also noticed this guy's kind of grasping back, like to keep the situation going. He doesn't want it to stall out. He, she, whoever this person may be, just happens to be a male, and this card pushing that back is why I'm saying that. But when it goes forward, it's kind of like this is already in motion. We have to keep going. I have to just finish this out. I almost feel like there's a little bit of aggravation on that side too, kind of like, you know what? I asked you and you didn't say anything. And then when the time came, I just made the decision because I felt like I was making it on my own anyway. I kind of get that feeling. By the way, I'm a Pisces too, if I haven't mentioned 50,000 times in 50,000 other reads. But, so I'm kind of looking at this like through my own eyes. Like, I feel like maybe it was just, as a Pisces, I'm thinking we might have had a moment where we were just a little over agreeable, not realizing that decisions were going to be made, and then decisions were made, and then it was just kind of too late to change course after that. As we go on from this, I feel like this, it's kind of like, I feel like as it goes forward, you might become more and more vocal about it, and they might be a little less, like, I feel like they might, I don't know, I feel like they're more accommodating than anything else. Your partner might be like, yeah, I know. And they might explain here and there, but I feel like as it goes forward, you might be more vocal about this isn't really working out the way you thought it would, and blah, blah, blah. And I feel like they're kind of letting you have your piece, but they're just kind of still moving forward. I'm getting like the lack of response again. I'm feeling like they might not say how they feel. But I feel like the love is there between you, but I feel like they're a little annoyed because they're feeling like you should have said something before, but you're kind of like on the side of like, well, didn't realize we were this far ahead in the process and that we were at the final stages. I didn't get that. That being said, I also feel in the same note that you're also moving forward with them. Like whatever they've chosen, you're also doing your part to make it happen. I'm seeing finances and career with the Knight of Swords in your what makes it better. I feel like you're continuing on the path. You might be communicating more about how you felt about it, but you're also making sure that this works out because they made the decision. I feel like you're kind of owning part of it. Like, you know what? Maybe I was a little bit too agreeable, but what's done is done now, and I have to make sure it keeps going, so here we go. And that's kind of how you're taking it. Okay, so this overall, I feel like there's like, if you're seeing this reading at the right time, and it does resonate with you, I feel like you might be noticing maybe you're a little too agreeable, or you're kind of pushing decisions back on the side of the other person. If this is hitting at the right time for you, this is your moment to like have that conversation now to see if they're in that part where they're going to make a decision that you don't really want. Because you need to be vocal about what you actually want now rather than later, because by the time you're really vocal about it, it's really too late. Things are already moving forward. So I feel like that's the whole point of this relationship read right now. To say something now, if this resonates with you and it's hitting hopefully at the right time, you're seeing yourself just kind of go along with the process, letting the other person make the decisions, or not really making any decisions yourself, realizing that if you don't step in and say something now, you're going to end up with an outcome that you don't really want, at least not to begin with. Going forward, I feel like if you end up in this situation and the situation's already been decided, I do feel like you're going to get more on board with it as time goes on. I just feel at first blush it's definitely not what you wanted. But you're definitely like, I feel like at some point, if this does go forward and it's too late to change it, you're going to be like, well, if it's done, it's done. And you're just kind of move forward. And you're going to be like, I feel like you're going to support your partner because I do feel like there's love and it's a good relationship. I just feel like the decision-making process kind of fell apart here. Okay. Anything else? Okay. So, I'm going to leave that for the relationship part of the Pisces read. Let's get into singles for the Pisces read. Piscean read. Okay. Singles. Single Pisces. Single Pisces. We're going to go across like that. Okay. Okay. Ironically, we have the King of Rods coming out for you too, single Pisces. What's going on here? I feel like we got a lot of ideas going on. All right. So now, what's going on here? I feel like when you're coming into this, you're going towards something. You have great ideas. You do actually have the Sun card and the Eight of Cups going on here. And this is how they're actually coming in. Like, I feel like the Eight of Cups is walking away from something, looking like you're walking towards a much better future is kind of how it feels. And I feel like you're out there creating conversations, you're talking with people, you're looking for somebody. This is how, now by the time you hit the start of this has already been happening. So I feel like you've already had your feelings out there, you already had these conversations. You might have a couple people in mind. Sort of. Okay, so so I feel like you've been communicating in some respect, or you've kind of put out there that you're kind of open to the idea of a relationship, if this is hitting for you. And what's going on is somebody is coming towards you that you might not think of as a normal match for you, but there's characteristics about this person that you like, so you're giving it a chance. You're keeping an open mind. You're kind of going in with the thought of like, you know what, a lot of things, sometimes the best things are a surprise, even though it might not seem like a good match to begin with. Totally, maybe there's something here that I'm not seeing. I want to give it a shot. And by give it a shot, I'm talking like probably a couple dates, hanging out a couple times, just getting to know someone. I feel like that's what you're doing. Alright, so now to keep the open mind, it did come out on the environment side. But I'm not getting that this is working out. I feel like this you hang out or you go on a date or whatever happens, but I'm feeling like when the Page of Pentacles comes in next, it goes back to the Justice card and like the scales are weighed. Like I feel like you have a second, you revisit the Justice card. Like, all right, I gave it a shot. I'm not really seeing this being what I want. So I mean, it was fun, but I just don't see it going any farther than this. I'm just being honest with you. Something along those lines is what I'm kind of seeing on your side. I'm kind of seeing you as the initiator for that. Because there's a certain idea of what you want, and you're looking for something specific. And you're heading in that direction, and you've just decided this person who's come towards you is not the one. That, I feel like, is kind of a rough moment for them. Because I feel like when this get to know you thing happened, it didn't hit for you, but they thought it did, in the sense of like it hit for them. I feel like there's some hurt feelings here. I'm feeling there's some hurt feelings on this side, and it goes next to like when the Hierophant comes out in this one. I feel like that's kind of like the cold shoulder, or kind of like a little annoyance comes your way, in the sense of like I feel like they might be a little mean spirit, just a little like cold or mean in some respect, just kind of like shrugging you off, or they don't want to even acknowledge you type thing. And I almost feel like that kind of throws you a little, because you're like, I don't understand why you're that mad. I mean, we tried it just didn't work. I don't understand why you're mad at me. But I feel like you're also, this is where the King of Rods comes up on your side for your mindset. You're like, you feel like, I almost feel like when this happens, when they're a little cold or distant or a little, like they uninclude you or whatever they do that shows, because they're trying to make a point that they're not happy with you. I feel like you feel, I hate when I do that, that reinforces your decision like this was not the match for you. Like you feel like, I feel like you are feeling, wait. It's coming across like this is reinforcement that you did the right thing. Like this decision you made was the right decision. You're feeling very, what do I want to say, justified. And moving this forward, I feel like this is the energy between the two of you. I don't feel like there's any, I feel like there's more just like tolerating of each other at this point. I feel like they're a little annoyed and they come off a little gruff, and you're just kind of like, whatever. And you feel really validated in your decision. I don't know, I just feel like it kind of bounces back and forth, like you just kind of tolerate each other at this point. And I feel like it bothers you a little bit going forward. As time goes forward, you're like, it kind of makes you feel a little a little kind of like upset, like I don't understand why this had to be such an issue. Like it was just a date, we were just seeing if it was going to go anywhere, and I was honest with you. Why are you so upset with me for being honest? I feel like it doesn't make sense to you. And it's almost like this might have been a friendship before this became more than it was for a moment, and you're just kind of regretting that you gave it a shot going forward, because you're just seeing like this, I don't understand why this had to be a problem. And it's feeling, I feel like you're kind of like, I feel like you're just kind of looking to move on from the situation. Like, when I see you deserve love, I feel like you're kind of like wondering if you really want to give if you want to take a break, or if you want to try something else. Like, do you want to give somebody else a shot? Do you want to try to go on another date with somebody else, or do you just want to, step out of the scene for a few weeks just to, like, get away from the craziness? Because I feel like when this happens, it bothers you. Not at first, but like it's kind of like, why did it have to have such a rough ending? I was just honest with you, and it's kind of bothering you in that sense. This comes up in your mindset right above the Five of Cups, which makes me feel like you're a little bit, like you're questioning if you really want to keep dating at this point. You're just like, you know what, maybe it's okay being single, because I don't really want somebody like that anyway, and I didn't realize that's how they really were. I realized I made the best decision for me, and I was just honest, but what if I had not made the right decision? I'd be stuck with that right now. Like, I feel like that's kind of how it's coming through. Like, you're feeling a little like, you know what, maybe it's not so bad being single right now. On their side, I do feel like they do like you, and they just need to realize that they'll find the right one for themselves, and they need to let go of this. I just feel like they're having a hard time letting go. For some reason, they thought this was a better match than you did. And once they let go of it, they'll be fine, but they're just kind of like, they got a little too caught up in it. I feel like you might have, they just got caught up in you. They just wanted you in their life, and they wanted you in their life in a certain way, like as a partner, and you didn't want to do that. And I feel like I feel like they're having self-conscious moments here, even though you were honest, and I don't feel you were mean in any sense. You might have said why you don't think you and this person match up, and they took that to heart, like, well, if I don't match up with you, I'll probably never match up with anybody, because that's who I am, which isn't the truth. Because there's other people, or there's so many different types of people, whoever they are, there's somebody out there for them, I'm sure, but the way this is going right now, it's just you're not feeling the same, so you kind of moved on. I think the aftermath is the big thing here. And I feel like the reason you moved away is because you saw this kind of like, there was a mismatch. And there might have been some of these characteristics popping out during the date, and you're just like, I'm not really into this. But you thought being honest and being forward was a good thing, or whatever you said, you felt like it was just being honest and just being on the level. You just didn't want to lead anybody on or anything like that, so you're just being fair. That's how you felt. And it just, the way it hit, in the long run, when they got, because I feel like they're really upset about it, because they went on this date and they thought, I wasn't sure about this to begin with, but now that I found out I do want to be with you and now you don't want to be with me, I feel like they're taking it as an insult. And that's kind of how it's going. Like, I feel like they feel insulted, like, how can you not want me type feeling. I just feel like they're offended in some sense. I don't feel like it's warranted, but that's kind of the energy I feel on this side. So I guess for the overall energy here for the single Pisces, because this is single. Somebody you're going to give a shot to, go on a date with. I feel like it's not going to hit for you. You're going to kind of move on from it, but they might not take it that well. I guess if this hits at the right time for you, maybe a group date would work out better, or maybe, I don't know. Because I feel like it's a good thing to give them a shot. I don't know. I guess the best I could say is being aware that, whatever you say is going to be taken quite to heart. So you might want to just realize that maybe they're more into you than you realize. So whatever you say is going to come across like they're going to take that. Like it's going to be very heartfelt, and they are definitely into you. I see either way, I feel like you're moving on from it. The aftermath is going to kind of bother you because they take it so offensively. And you might step out. I feel like you might be like, you know what, I'm just going to, for the next couple weeks or so, I'm just going to stay single and be happy with that because I don't want these problems. It's not what I'm looking for. I'm expecting a good match, not a turbulent courtship or whatever this was. Okay. Anything else? All right, so I hope this helped in some sense. I'll get this up. Let's see. I'm doing every other week, so I think, I don't know the date, but if last week was general, then this next coming week will be love. Actually, when you're seeing this, won't matter what. Now I think of it. All right, well, thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct read from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com, james4astral@gmail.com. Thank you.